The courtroom was silent, too silent. All eyes were fixed on the young black woman standing at the defendant's table. Her name was Dr. Maya Richardson, a woman who had spent her entire life working to heal others. But today, she wasn't seen as a doctor. She wasn't seen as the woman who had saved countless lives. She was just a target. Judge Robert Hensley leaned forward, his glasses perched low on his nose, his voice dripping with disdain. "Miss Richardson," he sneered, emphasizing Miss as if stripping away her earned title. "You stand before this court accused of being unfit, not only as a professional, but as a mother." A murmur swept through the courtroom. Maya clenched her fists, her heart pounding. Unfit. That word hit her harder than any accusation. She had spent sleepless nights juggling hospital shifts and caring for her little boy, Jordan. And now, one arrogant man in a robe threatened to take it all away. The case was about custody. Her ex-husband, who had abandoned their family years earlier, had resurfaced, claiming Maya's demanding career made her incapable of raising Jordan. And the judge, known in whispers around the courthouse for siding with wealthy, well-connected men. Maya's ex sat smugly across the room, his expensive lawyer smirking beside him. They thought this was already decided, that she had no chance. "Dr. Richardson," her attorney whispered, "he's trying to intimidate you. Stay calm." But calm was impossible when her entire life, her son's future, was hanging in the balance. Judge Hensley slammed his gavel. "This court has no interest in long speeches. We deal in facts. And the fact is, your work keeps you away from your child. That, to me, screams neglect. A child needs stability, not a mother too busy playing hero at a hospital." Gasps echoed. Maya felt tears sting her eyes. She wanted to shout, to defend herself, to scream about the sacrifices she'd made. But before she could, her attorney stood. "With all due respect, Your Honor," he said firmly, "you're dismissing her accomplishments as though they mean nothing. Dr. Richardson isn't just a doctor. She is one of the most respected physicians in the state. The same woman you're calling unfit has saved dozens of children the same age as her son." The judge scoffed. "I don't care about hospital stories. Being a mother is more than saving strangers. It's about being present." Maya's ex smirked wider. The case felt rigged. But then something shifted. The courtroom doors creaked open. A group of people filed in, dressed in scrubs, their hospital badges still hanging around their necks. Nurses, patients' families, even a few children. One little girl stepped forward, clutching a teddy bear. She had once been Maya's patient, a leukemia survivor who was alive because of her. The child's mother raised her hand and spoke with trembling passion. "Your Honor, I know this isn't how court usually works, but you need to hear this. Dr. Richardson is the reason my daughter is alive. She sat by her bedside night after night when no one else would. She didn't just save her, she gave us back our family." The gallery erupted in murmurs of agreement. Parent after parent stood, sharing how Maya had gone beyond her duty, paying for medicine out of her own pocket, staying past her shifts, fighting for patients who had no voice. For the first time, Judge Hensley's smug expression faltered. Maya finally found her voice. "Your Honor," she said softly, her voice steady despite her tears. "You call me unfit. But every sacrifice I've made was to give my son a better life. Yes, I work long hours. But those hours mean children go home to their families, including my own son. Because I promised him a world where compassion still exists. If that makes me unfit, then maybe this court needs to redefine what it means to be a mother." The room fell silent again, this time with respect. The judge shifted uncomfortably. He cleared his throat, but his authority seemed smaller now. Finally, he muttered, "This court recognizes Dr. Richardson's contributions. And given the testimony presented today, I have no grounds to remove custody. Custody remains with the mother." Cheers erupted. Maya collapsed into her attorney's arms, relief washing over her. She turned to see Jordan in the back row, smiling proudly. The arrogant judge had fallen. The underdog had risen. Justice, at least for now, was hers. But just as Maya thought the nightmare was over, a new storm began to brew. As the courtroom emptied, her ex approached her, his smile cold and venomous. "You think you've won, Maya? This isn't over. I don't need the judge to take Jordan from you. There are other ways." He leaned closer, his voice a whisper of poison. "You work late nights, don't you? Accidents happen, kids get lost, all it takes is one slip-up. Maya froze, her blood running cold. This wasn't just about custody anymore. He was threatening her life, and worse, her child's. As he walked away, she felt her hands tremble. She had faced corrupt judges and arrogant men before, but this was darker. Because now the fight wasn't in a courtroom, it was in the shadows, and the battle for her son's safety had only just begun. Dr. Maya had proven herself in court, humiliated the judge, and reclaimed her dignity. But now she faced something far more dangerous, a vengeful ex determined to destroy her outside the law. Could she protect Jordan when the system no longer could? If you're really enjoying this story, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification button so you never miss my latest uploads. Now let's dive back into this powerful story. The courtroom victory should have been the end. Dr. Maya Richardson had proven her worth, silenced the arrogant judge, and secured custody of her son, Jordan. The crowd had cheered, the truth had shown, and justice, at least in that room, had been served. But the most dangerous battles aren't always fought in public. Sometimes they're waged in the shadows. As Maya left the courthouse, her ex-husband's chilling words still echoed in her mind. "You think you've won, Maya? This isn't over. I don't need the judge to take Jordan from you. There are other ways." It wasn't just a threat, it was a promise. That night, Maya tucked Jordan into bed, forcing a smile as she kissed his forehead. He was too young to carry the weight of what was happening. Too innocent to know that his father had turned into something darker than an estranged parent. She whispered, "I'll always protect you, baby. Always." But as she stepped into the hallway, her phone buzzed. A text message.
"Enjoy tonight, tomorrow everything changes."
No name, no number she recognized. But she didn't need to guess. Her ex was escalating. The following morning, Maya's nightmare deepened. She walked out to her car only to freeze in her tracks. The tires were slashed. A note was pinned under the windshield wiper. "You can't watch him every second." Her hands shook as she read the words. Anger burned in her chest, but fear wrapped around her heart like chains. She was a doctor. She had saved lives. But how could she save her son from a man who had no limits? At work, Maya put on a brave face. Patients and nurses greeted her warmly, unaware of the storm raging inside her. But midway through her shift, she received a call that nearly shattered her. "Dr. Richardson?" The voice on the other end was trembling. It was the school secretary. I thought you should know. A man came by asking about Jordan. He claimed to be a relative. When we refused, he got angry and stormed off." Her blood went cold. He was trying to get to Jordan. Maya rushed to the school, her heart pounding, but thankfully Jordan was safe. Still, she knew this was only the beginning. That night, she sat at her kitchen table, staring at a picture of her son. She had fought the system and won, but now she was facing something far worse. A man determined to break her outside the law. And the irony cut deep. The same judge who had called her unfit had released Jordan into her care. But now every second felt like a test she couldn't afford to fail. Days turned into weeks. The harassment didn't stop. Strange cars idled outside her house. Anonymous calls came at all hours. Jordan once woke up crying, convinced someone was trying to open his bedroom window. Maya was exhausted, torn between her duties at the hospital and the constant vigilance at home. But one thing kept her going: her love for her son. Finally, she decided she couldn't wait for something worse to happen. She contacted a trusted detective she knew from the hospital. Detective Ramos, a man whose daughter Maya had once saved during an emergency surgery. When she explained everything, Ramos leaned forward, his jaw tight. "Dr. Richardson, I owe you my daughter's life, and now I'm going to help you protect yours." The investigation began quietly. Surveillance cameras were placed near her home. Police increased patrols around Jordan's school. For days, nothing happened. Until one night, a dark figure appeared on the footage. He was crouched near Maya's car, attempting to plant something under the hood. When officers zoomed in, the face became clear. Her ex-husband. Armed with evidence, Detective Ramos acted swiftly. Within hours, police surrounded Maya's ex's apartment. Inside, they found more than just plans to sabotage her car. They found detailed notes, tracking Jordan's school schedule, Maya's work shifts, and even maps of escape routes. It was chilling proof that he wasn't just bitter, he was dangerous. The next morning, the city watched as he was led into the courthouse in handcuffs, the same courthouse where he had once smirked, certain he would win. And in a twist of dramatic irony, the case landed before the very same judge who had once called Maya unfit. But this time, the courtroom was different. The evidence was undeniable. The police commissioner himself testified about the threat. The judge cleared his throat, visibly uncomfortable. His words carried far less arrogance now. It appears this court was gravely mistaken about Dr. Richardson. She is not unfit. She is, in fact, a mother who has endured unimaginable hardship to protect her child. Custody remains with her. And as for the defendant, he glared at her ex. You will face charges for harassment, attempted endangerment, and criminal threats. The gavel came down. Justice. Maya held Jordan tightly as reporters swarmed, their cameras flashing. She had been underestimated, humiliated, and threatened. But in the end, she had risen, not just as a doctor, not just as a mother, but as a woman who refused to be broken. And the irony? The same people who once doubted her now saw her as what she had always been, strong, capable, and unshakable. Life lesson. Sometimes the very battles meant to break us become the proof of our greatest strength. When people underestimate you, don't shrink. Stand taller, because the truth always rises above the lies. What would you have done if you were in Maya's shoes? Stay silent and hope the threat stopped, or fight back like she did? Comment your answer below, and don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories like this.